What does a CFO really do? I hear this all the time from business owners. We already have someone handling our finances. And I always ask, do you have a CFO or just someone doing the books? Because there's a very big difference. Your accountant, they're great at tracking what already happened. Profit and loss statements, reconciliations, taxes, all important stuff that an accountant, CPA needs to work on. But it's all historical. It's after the fact. They're coming in after the whatever history already happened. A real CFO, especially on the advisory side, which is what we try to sell, they're focused on what's coming next more than what happened historically. Yes, you use the historical data to figure out certain things and trends, but we're always what's coming next, what's in the future. Cash flow strategy, very important. Forecasting, stress testing the business, asking the hard questions. Can we survive another month? Can we afford to make a new hire? Or can we afford to expand? We dive into cash inflow, outflow planning, receivables and payables optimization, growth modeling, and how to keep you from running out of cash when opportunity knocks on the door. So, if your CFO is still sending you spreadsheets and not giving real advisory insight, you probably don't have a CFO. You have a glorified bookkeeper with a fancier title, maybe of CFO, but they might be an accountant. You need that controller, accountant, CPA. Cash flow advisory is what helps you sleep at night. And that's probably the most important job of what a CFO advisory service should provide is cash flow management. And for good reason. If you look at the statistics of businesses that fail, I don't remember the number, but I was listening to someone about this topic, and something like every 5 to 10 years, 90, like a certain high percentage of businesses fail, and the main reason is because they ran out of money, they didn't properly plan and do the cash flow properly, and they ran out of money. And when you don't have money, what happens is most of the time it's just a bankruptcy situation there. So the question is not, do you have a CFO? It's, do you have someone advising you or just reporting to you? If you want to talk tax strategy and cash flow strategy, you know where to find me. The question always comes up, what does a CFO do? I see job titles, I see new job descriptions that companies are looking for. They say they're looking for a CFO. Sometimes I don't think they understand really what the CFO is doing. I have friends that are CFOs, and then I ask him, okay, well, what do you do all day? And they're like, yeah, well, I have someone under me, but I'm just checking the reconciliations. I'm checking to make sure that, everything kind of ties and it that's very nice. That is what an accountant does. So you're an accountant with the title of CFO. You're a glorified bookkeeper, maybe a reviewing bookkeeper because you have someone under you, but you're not really doing any cash flow strategy analogies, advisory, future forecasting, modeling. So that company, and some companies don't need really that because they don't really need cash flow management. Some companies really do because they need to know where they stand and can they invest, can they expand, should they hire? Hey, they're a little bit weak in the account, even in the accounting department. Sometimes they're overwhelmed, like reconciliations are not being done on time. Could they afford to hire a bookkeeper? And a lot of times they could, or a lot of times they can't. So but they don't know, and then they end up not hiring, and then they reduce their possibilities of scaling, and the whole purpose of business is to make money, right? So I just wanted to clarify a little bit of that CFO stuff because it's like a buzzword online. You'll see it all the time. People trying to sell CFO advisory services, and you just don't really know what you're getting and or maybe you don't really know what to expect. So I figured I'll do a little post on this, and I'm going to be thinking about it more and doing more, and even offering this as a service because a lot of times I see clients that really need this because they just really don't have good cash flow management, and that's exactly what I want to be able to focus on to help them because at the end of the day, a CFO is adding value to a business. If you need any more help or if you have any questions, if you want to just talk about what this whole CFO advisory service is, let's talk in the comments, in the DMs. Have a great day.